Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Don't you just love Mondays? I love Mondays because the market's back open. I love Mondays after a long weekend. I get to talk to all of you. Hopefully you all had a great Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of the traders aren't back to work yet. Kind of a slow day in the markets. Okay, Dow's down about 75, Nasdaq's up about 30. What's going on? Well, it's kind of moving sideways now. We had the big rally up 3 weeks in a row, one down day in 3 weeks. The market has moved a lot higher. Market's still in an overbought situation. We're moving sideways, and moving sideways can fix the overbought situation. They're going to push this market higher into the end of the year. There's going to be a Santa Claus rally. They're going to get their big bonuses on Wall Street. This market's going to close at a record high. But you got to be careful here. VIX has a 12 handle. The VIX with a 12 handle means that this market is going to pull back before they push it higher into the end of the year. That's just my take. Your take may be completely different. All right, so right now, everything is great, right? Everything's great. Look at the stock market, close to record highs. Look at the housing market, close to record highs. Everything's great. Janet Yellen, she'll tell you the economy's strong, very strong, right? Everything's great until it's not, right? Until it's not, until something breaks. Look at this. We're very good at kicking the can down the road, right? We're very good at kicking the can down the road, pretending like everything's perfect, pretending like everything's great. They don't talk about how much debt we're in. Look, there is no way the U.S. can ever pay its debt back. The U.S. is going to continue to print money into oblivion until money's not worth anything. And this brings up an important point. Okay, so there was this moon boy in the comments. I love the moon boys. But this moon boy in the comment, he was asking me like, Mike, aren't you worried that house prices will double once the Fed pivots? Well, no, I'm really not. I'm really not. Now, is there anything that can make house prices double? Yes, there is. It's called hyperinflation. Hyperinflation's not off the table. Hyperinflation would be like, I call it 50% a year. Technical definition of hyperinflation is 50% a month. See, we're going to print so much money that we could get inflation at 50% a year. But Mike, they solved the inflation problem, right? They solved it. We were at 9%. We're down here at 3%. Inflation is done. We can start printing money again. We can get back to normal. We can lower rates to zero. I don't see it that way. I really don't. Look it. I see problems coming. Okay, not a lot of people see problems coming. I see the banks, the banking system. They're insolvent. They don't have your money anymore. They do not. They've lost your money. I know that's shocking. You think that you put your money in the bank, money's safe. It's in the bank. No, that's the most dangerous place you could have your money right now is in the bank. The banking system's not safe. Look, banks are broke. Banks are broke. The FDIC that protects the banks, they're broke. Everybody's broke out there. Okay, what about the pension funds? Pension funds are so underfunded, so underfunded. You see, the pension funds, they depend on a 7% return. And for the last 14 years, they've been 0% return. The rates have been at zero. So what they do, they went out to the long side of the bond market, right? Okay, and once again, the pension funds, well, they've lost your pension. The banks have lost your money. The pension funds, well, they've lost your pension. A lot of people are expecting to retire with their pension. Look, they'll be lucky to get 20% of a lot of pensions. A lot of you people think that's impossible. Maybe the government will bail them out. How will they bail them out? They'll print more money. Maybe you'll get your money, but your money won't be worth anything if the government keeps printing money to bail out the pensions. Insurance companies are in big trouble. What do, they take all your insurance premiums, they invest it. Well, you see, all these people, they were doing the same thing. The banks, the pensions, the insurance companies. What were they doing? They're buying long-term bonds. Those are down about 40 or 50%. So insurance companies don't even have money to pay claims. Now, what are they trying to do to make up for this? They're trying to raise the prices on insurance, right? Your insurance premium, if you look at it, Car insurance, home insurance, all types of insurance. It's going up, right? Health insurance is surely going up. That's just inflation though, right? But the insurance companies don't have money to pay the claims because why? They've lost the money. Like the banks have lost the money, like the pensions have lost the pension funds, and the insurance companies have lost the money. This is a big problem. You got to look at what the big boys are doing. The big boys, the ones like Jamie Dimon, the ones like Jeff Bezos, the one like Warren Buffett, they're getting out of these markets. They're not jumping into the markets. Buffett sitting on over $150 billion in cash. Look at this is a 90-year-old man. He should want to be in there, have a last move before he checks out, right? Have something big going, but there's nothing big for him to buy. Everything's overpriced, and he knows that's going to drop. He knows it's going to drop by 50%. Then he's going to put his money to work. That's how he made all his money, waiting for the pullbacks. And there's going to be a big pullback in the stock market. Look at when the stock market pulls back, right? What's going to happen to the 401ks? 401ks could be cut in half. How's that going to make people feel? It's not going to make them feel rich, right? Well, what do they own? They own real estate, right? They own a house. All that equity, they're going to start to get that out. They're going to put the house onto the market. That's where the inventory is going to be coming from. When that stock market goes down, people are going to be feeling poor, and they're going to put their house on the market. What are people doing right now? Well, they're trying to hold on. They're trying to hold on to their house. They'll do anything, right? I mean, they're taking out HELOC loans, home equity line of credit. Those are spiking up. Well, they're spiking up, so is the interest rate spiking up. About 10% on those. How else are they paying for things? See, people don't have money. There's a lot of financial stress out there. And I feel sorry for people. I really do. There's nothing worse than financial stress. Look at, I've almost gone bankrupt twice in my lifetime. I can talk about more about that in different episodes. Never ever declared a bankruptcy, always dug my way out of it. But a lot of people are hurting right now. A lot of people are going to be declaring bankruptcy. Why? Because they have no money. So what are they doing? They're putting it on their credit cards. Credit cards at a record high. They're at a record high, but so is the interest rates on credit cards. Well, I had a guy in the comment. He's telling me interest rates on credit cards, 0%. Oh, we got one of those teaser things. Hey, you transfer your balance over here and it'll be 0% for 3 months. Okay, well, let me tell you, the $1 trillion plus in credit card is running about 20%, not 0%. Anyways, that's just, sometimes you just have to educate people. Sometimes people don't want to be educated. They got their own frame of mind, and that's perfectly fine. Some of the moon boys think interest rates on credit cards 0%, and that's okay. And a lot of those moon boys, they think I should be worried that house prices are going to double here. Look, inventory is low right now. It's low. Well, actually, it's not that low. You look at the new homes for sale, they got an 8-month supply, 8-month supply of new homes. What's normal? About 6 months. So they're actually 2 months extra inventory that compared to normal. So there's really not that shortage of inventory, but inventory for existing homes is low right now. Okay, it's low. I agree with that. Well, since it's so low, shouldn't prices be just skyrocketing? No, prices are drifting down. Why? Because the record inventory is low, but we got no demand. You have zero demand out there. The demand has just vanished. It's vanished into thin air, right? Okay, so it's vanished. But all these sellers, they don't want to sell because they see that there's no demand. They think when the pivot comes that their house is going to double. A lot of sellers, they could kind of be termed as moon boys. As weird as that is, sellers, moon boys, okay, they got the same philosophy that the houses are going to double from here. They're not going to double from here. People taking out those HELOCs. But here's another thing that's going on, right? Okay, so COVID forbearance. When the pandemic hit, everybody went into forbearance. Now, why'd they go into forbearance? Well, they did it because they could. Some people just did it as a financial planning tool. Look at, why pay my mortgage when the government says I don't have to pay my mortgage? Government changed constitutional law that you no longer have to pay your mortgage. You could go into forbearance. Well, that all comes to an end right about now. A couple days from now, November 30th, it all comes to an end. Those forbearance people have to make their payments back. Now, the 8.5 million people went on forbearance programs. 8.5 million. Okay, so they haven't been paying their mortgage, right, for 2 years, 3 years, I don't know how long, but they haven't been paying their mortgage. Well, that's not free money, right? That creates a second loan that they attach on top of the first loan. There's now the forbearance loan, and those are for about 50, 75, $100,000. So now they got two loans on this, and they got to start paying on them, paying on both of them, right? Okay, so the forbearance is coming to an end for 8 million people. They can't do it anymore. VA, Veterans Administration, they can still stay on forbearance. Why? I'm not sure. They're part of the government, I guess. Government loves forbearance. I get. A lot of people think I don't get that this is an election year coming up. 2024 is an election year, right? And so they probably, once they see the slew of foreclosures coming onto the marketplace, they'll probably extend that forbearance, right? They'll say, hey, go back on forbearance. We don't want to foreclose on all these people in an election year. We'll lose their votes. Let them not pay. That's America. It's a great way. We can print as much money as we want, and there's no consequences. There's no ramifications. It's all great. Look, everything's great until it's not. Something's going to break. Something's going to break. Look, the money's not free, right? But they're trying to print this free money. Okay, so for this forbearance, where they're just adding it on to the mortgage, right? Back in the day, let me talk about 2008. Okay, negative amortization was a huge thing, right? Huge thing. I had clients, they'd buy houses, and every month they make their mortgage payment, but yet the mortgage balance would go up. It's called negative amortization, neg-am for short. Okay, that was common in 2008, but this forbearance thing is like negative amortization on steroids. They're just tacking that on to your mortgage, right? They're tacking that you haven't paid for 2 years. They're tacking all those payments on plus interest. I mean, it's negative amortization like we've never seen before now as houses start to drift down and you got that negative amortization. There's so many people going to be underwater. There's so many people that have this financial stress over their heads. It's not healthy. It's not good, right? It's just not. It's not. Okay, and you got these other things going on. So you got the HELOCs. Okay, everybody's getting the HELOC loan, trying to hang on to the house. Credit cards record high. You got forbearance coming to an end, 2-3 years of non-payment tacked onto the mortgage. You got house prices drifting down. This is not going to end well, but it might. It's an election year, and I get that. It is an election year, but there's a big problem. It's a big problem. It's called the banking system. Okay, so the forbearance has come to an end. The banking system wants to rush these foreclosures to the marketplace. Okay, people can't pay on these forbearances. I'll tell you why. Because their mortgage is now $100,000 more than when they couldn't pay before. They couldn't pay then. They can't pay now. So they're delinquent. And as soon as this forbearance is over, the banks can start foreclosing on them. Okay, so the banks start foreclosing on them. Why do the banks want to foreclose so fast? They want to get that loan off their books. 2.8%. I know you're locked in at 2.8. You did a great job. Your house is going to be underwater soon, but you're locked in. Okay, but anyways, these people, they can't make their mortgage payments, so the bank's going to rush these foreclosures to the market because they want that 2.8 off the books, and that way they can redo a loan when the house sells to someone else, probably at a lower rate, but they'll get an 8% loan on their books. Wipe out the 2.8 where they're losing money each month. Look at the banks are paying people 5.5%, 6%. I've seen 6% on CDs. The banks are desperate. They have no money, right? Because on all these mortgages, they lose money each month. Okay, so they want these off the books, so they're going to rush these foreclosures to the marketplace. And as foreclosures, people are in financial trouble right now. You see, people, you're locked in at 2.8%. And I get that. That's a great rate. You did the right thing, right? But okay, here's the thing. Your property tax is up 40% in 2 years. Insurance has doubled in many areas. Doubled. That's 100%. I mean, your utilities, we got 20 million people in this country delinquent on their utility bills right now. Look, these are not the great times that they're telling you. They're telling you that this is the best time, the best economy. Look, I get that, right? I'm telling you, just what they're telling you is not accurate. Their job is to lie to you. Their job, if they told you the truth, you can't handle the truth. God, I love Jack Nicholson, right? In that movie. Okay. But that's the truth. You can't handle it. And that's why they're lying to you. They're telling you, look at the stock market. It's doing great. Look at the housing market. We're close to record highs. Get out there and buy before prices double. Prices double. You know, those moon boys, maybe they got it right. Maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe when the pivot comes, they're going to double. That's not my take. I think we're going to drop 40 or 50% from here. And the big drop usually starts right when they cut the rates, right when the pivot starts. It's not going in at raising the rates. It's when they start to cut rates that the bad stuff starts to happen, where the stock market goes down 50%, where house prices drop another 40%. Look, I get the election year thing, and it's a good argument. Maybe we good enough to kick the can down the road another year. I think it's down to months now. You're going to see these banks starting to fall over one after the other. I think we're down to months. I don't think we have years left. Maybe we do. Maybe I got it all wrong, and that's possible. Leave me a comment. Do you think we have months? Do you think we have years? Do you think we have decades? When's it all going to break? This isn't going to end well. You can keep printing money. The money's going to disappear, purchasing power. Get some gold, get some silver, protect yourself. Just my take, just what I'm doing. You do you, I'll do me. But give me the thumbs up anyways, because it's a Monday and I love Mondays. Get out there, everybody. Have a great Monday. We'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye now.